I got a question. I got a question for you guys. Because I believe we're in a very peculiar. I know I said that word wrong. We're in a very peculiar situation right now because we have some very important characters. Like when it happened to York, I feel as though it's forgivable because York is not a centralized character. If York died, it wouldn't really affect the story. But we see Franky and Usopp get turned to stone by S Snake. So with that logic, I believe that they have to eventually become unpetrified. But seeing how S Snake is taking the orders of somebody, right? Like, could it be Saturn? Could it be another Vegapunk? We don't know yet. We don't know who they're taking orders from. But somebody to where like the other Vegapunks can't get control of the Seraphim. So Usopp's stone, Franky's stone, but there has to come the point where they're unpetrified. How do we get to that point though? Right? Is S Snake going to eventually be turned back to the Allies' side, or will we potentially see Boa Hancock enter the story, potentially Egghead Island, or will the Straw Hats have to go to Boa to get her to unpetrify them? Like Ragnar, what do you think? Let's start off with Ragnar. What do you think? How do we unpetrify Franky and Usopp, our two main characters?
Would it surprise you if I say there's a chance that the power of cola is what kept Frankie not fully paralyzed from the stone things that Boa did? I think the power of cola is a secret to the world, man. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but I think the power of cola can get Frankie out of this.
That's
And
brilliant.
for Usopp and the others, I think he's going to use the same thing. The power of cola to get out of this. And Vegapunk, the hidden power he's looking for is cola. I'm telling you, man. Frankie got the secrets. He
He
got the
got the
code. He got the
sauce.
answer.
Franky got that sauce.
He got the sauce
He got the
and the
sauce.
drip.
Sauce. That's my Rick Ross. That's my Rick Ross sauce right there. Sauce. It's Ricky Rose. Nah, but
Never even thought of that.
go ahead, Go ahead, Rocks. But what about Usopp? But I'll let Rocks go and then you can answer Usopp, Ragnar. But
Oh man, I'll start with the simple one. There could be just one alternative that hasn't been revealed yet. There's just gonna be an ass pull if if no Hancock or Ethnic will be turned for the Strat side. So they just come back like in the most ass pull way. Like
so you think we're gonna get some type of ass pull? I mean,
hopefully not, but could be
I
if
think
not if they won't be turned.
I feel like Vegapunk
Or
might know how to undo it. Might. I don't know. He could. If anybody is capable of undoing it without having the ability, I think it'll be Vegapunk.
hopefully. And or it may be Luffy. Luffy can do it.
What with his gear fifth or something?
Yeah.
I mean, my question is, cause Ragnar said that Cola could undo Frankie. I don't know how. I mean, I don't. I can't say I agree with that because I just don't know how it would do it. Right? Is it possible? Maybe. I don't know. How do you get Usopp out though? Like does Usopp just gain Conqueror's hockey and just undo undo it? You know what I mean? Like how do we get Usopp out? Ragnar,
It's
in your explanation, because I don't think you really got a chance to explain get unpetrifying Usopp.
Well, the Usopp thing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Usopp,
I just got
Usopp.
in. If I was to say anything about Usopp and
How do we
specifically
unpetrify him?
this, he unpetrifies guaranteed. This we are looking at the changing moment, The beginning of the arc for Usopp, the brave warrior of the sea, the legend to be the greatest storyteller of all time. Usopp, I'm telling you, we're looking at a conqueror's hockey moment, maybe. Doesn't have to be, maybe, right here, right? We're looking at a Usopp getting out of this without telling a lie, but still telling a lie. Boa is gonna look at Usopp's face. He looks scary. Let me freeze him before he beats me up or something. Boom. Usopp is screaming in pain or horror or something. Just because he lied with his face. I'm telling you, Usopp is getting out of this without even breaking a sweat. Because he is the greatest adventurer of all time. Behind Noland.
Okay. Okay. So I'm assuming you're just to oversimplify, you're saying that Usopp gets conquerors hockey. And that's gonna be the beginning of his moment. His time in the sun. Angel.
I want to say I don't think that this like I don't think that Boa's ability is one of those things like where once you get hit by it, you can use hockey to get out of it. I think you need to use hockey to stay out of it. Like that vice admiral did against Boa where he used his hockey to not get turned into stone. I feel like once you're turned into stone, your
Yeah.
hockey is useless.
I agree with
So
that. I agree with that.
so I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna get out of this situation because I don't think if they throw them into the sea, they're gonna get turned back into normal people. Because this is not Aokiji where he freezes the outside of your body. You actually turn into stone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and
I don't know. I feel like maybe Franky like Franky might find a possible way to get out of this. But other than that, yeah, Frankie's gonna have to come up with something because he's the only one that can move right now.
yeah. I think because I remember Br mentioned, like, I remember what last discussion, or this might have been over on the Cross Guild Connection stream. He was talking about Boa Hancock coming to Egghead Island, and I ain't gonna lie. To me, that was a stretch. That was a stretch. One of his only his pieces of evidence was that Boa said that she was going to go to Luffy to go marry him, right? But now, now that we got some stones, some people turning into statues, and I don't know if we'll get to a point where S Snake is going to turn him back, because especially if Saturn has control of him, or he gains control of him before S Snake can do that, right? I don't think he's going to be like, hey, unpetrify him, right? They're just going to be with him, and it's pretty much y'all not getting S Boa back at that point. So it just, to me, it leaves the only other option, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I think the only other option is Boa somehow. Whether Boa comes to Egghead because she's looking for Luffy to marry, or the Straw Hats go to Boa, one or the other. But
Oh, I know what they can do.
what could they do?
They could give the Boa new orders to unpetrify the Straw Hats because I don't think they're attacking the Straw Hats. I think they're only attacking the Vegapunks and
But
CP0.
how do they? But that's the thing, though. We got to get to a point where they can get Boa to.
No,
They
I'm
can
not
gain
saying like they're
control of
trying
her.
to. No, I'm not saying they override. Oh wait, actually, I forgot. When you give a new order, it overrides the last one.
Then that's what I'm saying. And if you look at what Ragnar said, right, with Saturn possibly being on the island, and if he gave an order, if he's the one giving the orders, nobody's going to be able to override order from the Gorosei. At least
That's
nobody present
true.
on the island. Not nobody present on the island. Like,
Dude, this is a very serious situation. But
that's why I feel we gotta talk about it, because these it's not like it's just the it's if it was just the Vegapunks that it happened to, I could kind of live with the fact that they might end up just being stoned forever, because they're not as important as Usopp or Franky. These are two characters that
yeah,
are central to the overall story. So they can't be stoned forever. They can't. There's
Yep.
going to have to come to the point where it's just, how do we get there? How do we get there? You know, like that's just my question. And to me, Boa is the only realistic one, unless somehow they could regain control of S Snake. But I don't know if they're going to be able to gain control over, because especially with Saturn coming to the island, or possibly already being on the island, it don't seem like they could override the current command that the Seraphim are instructed by. So it's like, who? Who? What?
Man,
Science?
this man, Blackbeard,
Go ahead.
Blackbeard should have knocked Boa unconscious to see if her ability will still work.
It's,
Mm,
I mean, it's still dead. Like, even
yeah,
when she was sick, it was still there.
because technically when you fall asleep, right, that's being unconscious, isn't it? So I mean, when she sleep, does
She,
the people who she turned in stone before, do they come undone or something? You know, like I don't think
Not the
her
most.
ability works like that.
No,
No, it
guys,
doesn't.
it depends. It's been shown. Sugar's Dell fruit is different because Sugar's Dell fruit doesn't affect wills. Otama affects wills, and in Wano she was knocked out, and that beast pirate still protected her.
Who?
The member Otama, one of the beast pirate, the rabbit girl.
Oh,
She
yeah.
she protected her when she was knocked out. So it means that the thing still stays, and she said it lasts over months. And that she has free choice.
I like Moria's ability too.
Moria.
Like, this is just so,
Yeah,
like,
it's working.
how are they?
For me,
Like,
it's
how is
very
this?
simple. For me, it's very simple. I think Hancock could reverse stones. My question is this: can the power of the S snake, can it be reverted by Hancock? Because I think maybe if S snake has his own will,
Yeah,
does Hancock
I'm with
stuff
Cube on
can
this.
override it? Yeah, that's a question that we should ask.
I think it could. I think it could.
Because technically, even the Vegapunk's confirmed, it's the same lineage. If it's the same lineage, you could confer, like, technically, even by Devil Fruit standards, it's the same person. Even though, of course, we know they're not the same person,
Yeah.
but they're using the same lineage to create these people. So you could say it's even the same Devil Fruit wavelength. Is that really a good way to put it? They're using the same Devil Fruit wavelength
Yeah.
to make these frozen people. So Boa could actually be a good solution to this. I'm not saying Usopp will conquer it. I'm just saying, Boa could be a good solution too.
Yeah.
So either way.
I think it could work, because ultimately I don't think the stone that's being unturned is looking at like who's doing it. Like I think it's just like, hey, I can't really explain it, but I don't think it really matters though, personally. I just don't, you know. But again, this is kind of an unprecedented moment, right? Like to have two like to have a devil fruit user that has the same abilities as another devil fruit user, and they both exist at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's like two devil fruit users with the same devil fruit abilities. So it's unprecedented. So it's hard, but I don't see why Bo couldn't. You know, even if it was like a previous devil fruit user of her devil fruit, I still don't see why she wouldn't be able to do it. You know, unless it's like it's a different emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say she uses her devil fruit or activates her devil fruit with lust, right? Like if you find her beautiful and you lust after her, she turns you to stone, right? Like that's how we kind of see her use it. But let's say if it's somebody else that uses it, who their emotion is anger. So if he pisses you off or gets you angry or fear, kind of like Big Mom, let's say if he could make you fear him, he could turn you to stone. You know, like if he turns somebody to stone through fear, but Boa uses love or lust, then she wouldn't be able to unpetrify you because she would have to use the same emotion that turned you to stone in the first place. Like if it worked like that, I get it. Like you know what I mean. But just if it being two different users, I don't see why that would be like, you know, something to keep something to keep you from unpetrifying somebody that somebody else petrified. You know what I mean? So I just don't think that would matter, especially if y'all had the same way of turning people into devil fruits, and that being lust.
It's more the
Nah,
fact
it
that
hurts.
I like Q
well,
go.
I'm
He
just gonna
was
jump.
talking.
Yeah, it's for me. It's more the fact that well, Boa Hancock and Snake both have the same nature, you know, but there's a nurture aspect to it, in which that could be the difference. Maybe like the way the fruit was used or the emotion it used, and like I always like this idea that you can reverse depending if you can imitate the same emotion you used to stone person. So if back in the day that person wasn't based on love but another emotion, maybe only that type of emotion can reverse it, you know.
Yeah, that's what I
But
said.
other than that, I agree with everything you just said. I agree because yeah, I just want to restate on my term, but I agree with what you just said.
But that's
So yeah,
exactly what I said, Q. That's exactly what I said, man. You pretty much said I don't agree with. I agree with.
Hey.
I only disagree with this part, and the part that you disagree with me and your whole explanation is pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing I said. So you
Good.
agree with me. You agree with me.
Yes, we agree to
Hey.
agree.